Personally, I love Halloween. It's always so much fun going out trick-or-treating with friends and spooking them for fun, of course. But guys, Halloween isn't always about innocent spooks and free candy. Sometimes
the most horrifying things can happen
under the disguise of Halloween. Today, I'll show you the most horrifying Halloween incidents, from human parts in your candy to being squashed to death. And guys, I promise, y'all will never think about Halloween the same way again after this. But if you love Halloween, make sure to like and smash that subscribe button. Alright, vanilla beans. What do you think of when I say clowns? Do you think of the funny and innocent clowns like Ronald McDonald? Or do you think of the 2016 killer clowns? Because guys, if you were a kid in 2016, you probably remember the killer clowns walking around the street. I heard so many of my friends saying they'd seen a clown, and some of them even got chased by one. I'm lucky I didn't see one myself though, but that's probably because I didn't dare to go outside. This video explains why.
So in 2016, there was a global hysteria that was going around about people dressing up in killer clown costumes and like scaring people randomly out on the street. Like, I shit you not, people would dress up as clowns, go out into the street and just scare random people. Like, to the point where people were getting attacked with like weapons and just like being chased on the Ring doorbells. These clowns would come up to the door, they'd chase their cars, they'd have like axes and stuff. It was crazy. The first sighting was reported in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it turned out that this first sighting that kick-started the whole thing was sort of promoting a movie. I'm not sure what film it was promoting, but that was where it started. But for some reason, after this like one sighting, the world ran with it. It was to the point in some countries they stopped selling clown costumes while this was going on.
God, I'm so happy this isn't a trend anymore. Like, if you didn't witness this, be happy you didn't. Because this was like the biggest trend of 2016. Guys, like, try to imagine all the people doing the 6'7" trend right now. Now imagine all those people, instead of saying 6'7", were pressed up as killer clowns going around scaring people. Yeah. That was how popular this trend was. It got so bad that governments had to arrest some of these killer clowns because so many people were too scared to go outside at night. But like, why would someone even do this for fun? Like, you're supposed to be doing balloon animals and juggling balls, not hunt me down with a knife. Alright guys, this next one isn't about ghosts or murderers. Nothing like that. This one is just heartbreaking. Have y'all ever been to a Halloween party? Like, usually there's a lot of people at those Halloween parties and parades, but in this case, it got way too crowded. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with this guy next to me. No, in this incident, there were so many people that 159 people got crushed to death. Y'all have to see this. I've never seen anything like it before. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen so many people at once. Wow, the police really can't do anything. The music is so loud, it's literally impossible to hear that policeman.
Here's everything you need to know about the Itaewon incident that took away 156 lives, possibly counting. Halloween is not celebrated nationwide in South Korea like in America. So young adults want to go to Itaewon, which is the foreigners' town in Korea, to celebrate Halloween. So imagine 100,000 people coming to a little strip of Itaewon to celebrate Halloween. But this year, the COVID restriction was lifted, so everybody wanted to celebrate Halloween. It's not a festival or event, it's an unofficial event where people just decide to gather up here, so that's why there was no security guards, bodyguards, or anything like that. Apparently, one person falling led to a domino effect where everybody started to fall on a slope. Essentially, people were crushed and compressed by the mass weight. Because there were so many people, it was so hard to even pull one person out, and by that time it was too late.
Oh my god, that's so scary. I feel bad for those 159 people. Imagine you're all excited to go celebrate Halloween, and then you get crushed to death because people were pushing and pulling. That's like gotta be one of my worst ways to die, or to watch someone die. It sounds like something straight out of a nightmare. I get so claustrophobic if I was in that crowd. Like, you can't even move your arms and legs if you're not that tall. You can't see anything either. And even worse, you could even get suffocated. But guys, how would you guys escape this crowd though? I'm not that tall, so I'd try to climb up one of those building or street lights. Alright guys, I need a breather after all that death and suffering. Have y'all ever been out trick-or-treating? It's always so fun to dress up and show off your costume to every house in the neighborhood. The candy is the best part though. Who doesn't love free candy? Not every house will have candy though. Partly because of the annoying little kids in this next video I'm gonna show you. You should never do what I'll show you now. But it is kind of funny. Watch this.
Let's see.
Of course he's dressed up as a Fortnite character. Imagine if he hit a Fortnite emote in front of the camera. But wow, his parent must be really proud of him. This is so inconsiderate. Like imagine all those other kids who didn't get any candy. Like I won't say that I don't want to take all the candy, but I think everyone should be getting an equal amount from each house. Guys, never do this, or some killer clown might come out and kidnap you. And your candy. Let's stay on the topic of Halloween candy. Most of the time, there's nothing wrong with the candy. People are usually sweet and give out harmless candy. But sometimes, guys, you should look very thoroughly at your candies before putting them in your mouth. Because not all people are good. And some hide dangerous things in the candy, like needles, maggots, and even worse things like in this video. Watch this.
This is the scary story about Halloween night. There were two friends named Jake and Tyler. It was Halloween night and they couldn't wait to get free candy. When the moon came out, they grabbed their bags and began going from door to door. After going to a couple of houses, they went to this one with no decorations. They then knocked on the door and a man answered. The man then said, "Here, I have some gummy eyeballs for you guys. Please take some," with a creepy smile on his face. Jake and Tyler took a gummy eyeball and ate it. But they weren't gummy eyeballs. They were real human eyes. The man had a whole bowl filled with them. They then ran away and called the police. When the police arrived at the man's house, they got the scare of their life. In the man's basement was a dozen young boys' corpses in costumes, and they all had their eyes taken out.
I don't know if that's just a story or not, but like human eyeballs? The texture must be so different. How can you not notice it immediately? I mean, some Halloween candy nowadays does look pretty realistic. Maybe they were like dried up or something. But I still feel like you'd be able to tell the difference. Unless if they ate it outside in the dark. Like now I'm kinda scared to go trick-or-treating again. Like who knows what I'll get? What if like someone pooped and wrapped it in tinfoil? And then call it a chocolate ball? Ew, sorry for giving y'all that mental image. But guys, I've got an idea for the word of the day. If you guys have watched till this point, I want you to comment, trick or treat. Let's confuse the other people that haven't watched until now. But guys, while we're on the topic of stealing from trick-or-treat candy, it's not just us humans that love candy. You know how bears love honey? They love that sweet juice. At least that's what Winnie the Pooh taught me. Anyways, they all love sweet things apparently. You'll see why in this video.
Happy Halloween! Boo! Stay away, spooky night is fine.
That's what you get. That's for the kids, not for you, Bear. That animatronic skeleton definitely knew what was going on there. He knew he had to take action, to be the hero that saves Halloween. But guys, could you imagine just checking your Ring camera to see if your candy is still there? But instead you see a bear stealing the candy? I wouldn't even know if I'd be scared or surprised. But yeah, anyways, that other house with the Fortnite kid should have one of these. It would have probably scared him off so fast that he'd forget his bag of candy. Alright guys, we've been out trick-or-treating enough for the day. Have y'all been to those Halloween funhouses with all the creepy mannequins? You just assume they're all fake, right? That's the whole point. But what if I told you there was one funhouse where they were real? This is an urban legend that turned out to be fact. Y'all can probably figure out what it really was.
Back in the 1970s, there was this terrifying fun house in Long Beach, California called The Laugh in the Dark. And there was always this urban legend that all the mannequins inside were fake, except for one. This urban legend came to be because there was one mannequin inside that just looked wrong. All of the other ones looked fake, but this one in particular looked way too human. And a bunch of the kids also said the area that the mannequin was in just smelled really, really bad. So a few years go by, and one day a film crew comes in and is using Laugh in the Dark for a film set. The director's lining up a shot and he just doesn't like the way this one mannequin looks in frame. So he goes over to a crew member and he's like, hey, can you just move this out of the shot? So the crew member goes over and starts moving the mannequin when its arm pops off. And inside of the mannequin's arm is human bone. The kids had been totally right. The mannequin was a mummified body.
There was a mummy, like those from the pyramids? Those kids were right the whole time. They had been taking pictures next to a dead body for years. How does that even happen? I mean, it is probably the easiest way to make a very realistic mannequin. Like it's already human. But how did people not notice the smell? It must have been so bad. Or maybe the crew members covered it up accidentally. Who knows? Alright guys, this kind of one is just insanity. Literally. Y'all, we know who we trust the most, right? Our family, of course. Especially our parents. But what do parents trust the most? For some, it might be the bank. This story, guys, y'all won't even believe it when you hear it. It's so crazy.
From the outside in, Ronald seemed to have a pretty good life. He was married and had 2 kids, Timothy, who was 8 years old, and his daughter Elizabeth. He had a great job as an eye doctor, but Ronald was $94,000 in debt and he needed a way out. On this night, Ronald took his 2 kids to go trick-or-treating, and along came his neighbor with his kids as well. In one of those house visits, Ronald managed to slip a few pixie sticks filled with cyanide in the kids' candy bag and made it seem like one of the houses gave it to them. When the kids got home, Timothy asked his father to open some candy, and Ronald purposely opened a pixie stick and gave it to Timothy and watched him eat it. Within just 1 hour, Timothy became extremely sick and passed away in the ambulance. Medical records quickly revealed that Timothy was poisoned with cyanide. Once they discovered that the cyanide was inside this specific candy, Ronald claimed that he got it from a house that they visited on that night. But after investigating, they discovered that no one was even in that house on that night, so Ronald was lying. The investigation turned towards Ronald and they discovered that he was asking around where he could find cyanide. But he became even more suspicious when they found out that he was in so much debt and that he took out a $20,000 life insurance policy on both his kids. And he took out this policy a month before Timothy passed away. And it gets worse. Ronald also called the life insurance company the morning after Timothy passed away to collect the money. He was charged with 1 count of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder and was sentenced to death.
What kind of monster is this? If he wasn't executed, I would be rioting in the streets right now. I didn't even know life insurance worked like that. If your son does, you just get money? Like, I think my parents have life insurance for me, but like, they won't kill me just for the claim, right? Nah, just kidding. They love me. Just like I'm sure y'all's parents love you, my little veins. You're all such good people. Alright guys, props to y'all for making it all the way to the end of the video. Y'all are so brave. Here I scared of nothing. I'll always be a little wuss around this time of year. Well, anyways, happy Halloween, and as always, stay safe, smash that like button, and subscribe. Bye bye!